Hello everybody and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. Today I will be showing you a game I played recently in the Vienna Gambit. So the Vienna Gambit starts after e4, e5, and instead of what you would usually do, bringing out this knight or bringing out the bishop, you bring out the knight to c3, which is what I did in the game. This is a Vienna game. Your opponent can do lots of things. You can even bring out the bishop, which is the Anderson defense. It can play the Max Lange defense. Your opponent could also play the Falkbeer defense, which is what happened in this case. I decided to play the Vienna Gambit, which is where you play the move f4. The thing with f4 is that your opponent can never take this pawn, because it would lead to, as you can see, it would lead to you pushing this pawn, cutting the knight off from any moves that go forward. These moves are cut off by your queen, these moves are cut off by your knight, forcing the knight to retreat, and after something like knight out, very important to stop this check. Queen e2 is a weird move. Nobody would ever play that, so don't listen to that. This, and then you would play this, threatening to win back the pawn, having a huge center, probably even trying to kick out that knight as well, and you're just winning. So that's why you can't take this gambit. Now the computer says that after some ridiculous line after d5, black is better. However, that never happens. In the game it also didn't happen. My opponent played d6, stabilizing his center. I played the move knight to f3, and my opponent played bishop e7. It's a move I had never seen before. I also haven't prepared this move, but according to the computer it is the best move. So yeah, I might have to look into that. In the game I played f takes e5. According to the computer, I should have played bishop e2, which is another completely ridiculous move. Nobody would ever play. My opponent took back in the center. This pawn, however, is undefended, so I decided to take. Also not the best move. My opponent tried to attack me with his bishop. I just simply retreated the knight. My opponent castled, blundering this fork, which cannot be stopped. It's defended by the knight. It attacks both the bishop and the knight. So yeah. I, however, in the game didn't see this at first, so I played d4, creating a huge center compared to my opponent, who doesn't even have a single central pawn anymore. Also something that you might want to keep an eye on in the Vienna Gambit. My opponent played rook e8, stabilizing the center. This time I did play e5. My opponent this time moved the knight back. I cannot take the bishop because that would be a very weird gambit of my king. It's not legal, so I didn't take the bishop because it's an illegal move. So I developed my other bishop out, lining it up on this diagonal, targeting the king possibly in the future. My opponent tried to pin me, tried to move his bishop to pin it. As you can see, the computer does not agree with this. Why is that, you may wonder? It's not a terrible move. Well, I castle, and now not only has this pin been broken, but also this pin has been broken. So both these pieces can now freely move again. My opponent decided to take, which is a very weird move because, he moves the bishop 2 consecutive times, which is very weird, leaving all of these pieces on the back rank, not developed. So I took, my opponent played c5, and as you can see, the analysis is going wild. Why is that, you may wonder? Well, it's because of this little thing called the Greek gift sacrifice, which I found in the game. The Greek gift sacrifice exists After bishop takes h7, the king can take or not take. The king probably should take. I believe that's the best move according to the computer. So I played this. My opponent took. I played knight g5 check. You should note that it cannot be taken because it would lose your queen, which is not good, obviously. It's the best move because otherwise you will. Well, it's not the best. It doesn't really matter. You're going to lose anyway. So I played queen h5, threatening mate. Well, not quite checkmate yet, but threatening to attack these two squares. My opponent, with a very weird blunder. So here the best move is to take with the queen, just totally sacrifice the queen, and well, you're just down, you're losing, you're still going to get mated very soon. However, my opponent thought he was smart and played this move, thinking it protected that square. However, my opponent forgot that there are more squares on the board, and I played check. Only legal move is to hide in the corner. I returned. Only legal move is to go back. And here I sacrifice my rook, which has an open file, because I played the Vienna Gambit. Otherwise this could have never happened. I took the knight. It doesn't matter which move you play. My opponent, however, took with the rook, and I mated him on the next move. This is protected by the knight, and well, it's just it's finished. And if you would have taken with the king, then queen f7 is mate because you can't go anywhere. So this is a great example of how the Vienna Gambit can work, even on a somewhat intermediate level, which is around 1200. This game was played at around 1200 rating, so it was a very fun game. I really enjoyed it, and I also really recommend you studying the Vienna Gambit. It's a very cool opening, and it almost always works. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.